Matthew chapter 3, verses 9. And do not suppose that you can say to yourselves, we have Abraham for our father. For I say to you that from these stones God is able to raise up children to Abraham, right? So that's just kind of showing us that our heritage is not as important as our heart. God can raise up followers for him no matter what your skin color, heritage, gender, whatever. Um, and I just thought it was a really good comment from Cranky Mover. So thanks, brother.
Yeah, and Constanza says Paul's knowledge of Greek philosophy certainly helped him. And yes, that is true. Yeah, that's why also he assumed his Greek name. He moved into the environment where his knowledge of Greek culture, and he changed his name to his Greek name because that's the environment he was moving into, and this certainly helped him. So let's have a look at some of the maps here, right? Let's see. There was what is the evidence? When did they end? Sorry, I wasn't quite sure what you mean. His pre-Christian name was Saul, so that's Erkin. Yeah, his pre-Christian name was Saul. So Saul and Paul, they were both. That was his Jewish name, his Hebrew name. Sabbath was made. Yes, Sabbath was made for mankind. Pinpoint correct. Mankind was not made for the Sabbath. Right. So now let's have a look. Now let's look at Jesus's teachings. I'm just going to slowly minimize, just reduce the size of the map a little bit. This is where Jesus taught. Jesus mostly taught in a rural Jewish context in the Holy Land. Right. So this is a map and the sites of Jesus' ministry. Here he heals a Canaanite woman's daughter. Right. Here's where Peter says Jesus is Messiah. So this is where Jesus taught. This is the Sea of Galilee. Here's the Mediterranean. Right. This is the Jordan River. Right. So this is the area where Jesus was active. And geographically, if we go here now, and I zoom into this, this is the area where Jesus was active, just around here.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the massive geographical area that Paul traveled through here, all of these islands up here
Right.
into Italy to Rome. This is the
Mm-hmm.
incredible. So remember, Paul did first journey, second journey, third journey, and to Rome. So we have his first journey, which was in this area here, Cyprus, right up here into Turkey, Asia Minor. Paul's second journey, an even bigger one, across here into Greece. Then we have his third journey, again, up here north into these areas here. And then finally his voyage to Rome. So I'll go to this map here, a little clearer. What I have here, this is Jesus's geographical area. This is roughly the area where Jesus taught, this little blue dot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is the much smaller geographical area of Jesus' ministry versus look at the massive geographical area that Paul covered. Now, he was not only founding churches, he was visiting churches.
Mm-hmm.
So how could he be visiting churches out here that he founded? He couldn't, these churches were founded before him. People went there before he did. And when he visited these churches, if his message was in such conflict, that would have caused an uproar within the church. We would have heard about that. But his message was clearly in keeping because he does write, and we will cover that later, that he says, remember what we discussed, remember the message of Jesus. So he confirms that message. So yeah, your thoughts there?
Right. Well, I mean, I just want to challenge those people who think that Paul was somehow evil and selfish and all that kind of stuff. Like he went from a life of persecuting, ordering the death and overseeing the death of at least Stephen, um, to and he was on his way to Damascus, right, to continue his plight, to now traveling the world, getting nearly stoned to death, beaten, whipped, imprisoned, you name it, um, completely peacefully too. By the way, he wasn't engaging in any kind of violence, but and he wasn't getting any kind of money or anything like that from it. But you know what? Yeah, keeping with our sarcasm here, he was totally evil.